Hey everyone. So, this video I will explain how to solve problem number 4 of kinematics. Okay, so a stone is dropped from a height h and falls the last half of its distance in 4 seconds. What was the total time of the fall, and from what height was the stone dropped? So for this, we will always begin with our drawing. We know that from here to here the height is h. The only thing that we know is that from here, it's going at the velocity, let's call it Vy 1. Why not? And we know that the time it hits from here to here, time equals 4. So time equals 4 seconds. Okay, what else do we know? Well, we can get that the total time, then we can name it t tot. Okay, hence this time would be t tot minus 4. Okay, so that's all we have to begin with. We can get the velocity Vy1 really simple with the big 4 number 2. So we can get that Vy1, let's call it. We know that the initial velocity at the top, because you are dropping it, times the time, we know that the initial velocity at the top is 0. So we want to use this part of the formula, plus gt. G is the acceleration due to gravity. G is the acceleration due to gravity. And well, we know that the time it takes to get from here to here is t tot minus 4. So we can get that it will be minus 9.81. Okay, so it is minus 9.81 times the total time, t tot minus 4. Okay, then we can make this multiplication and we can get that Vy1 equals to 39.24. That is this times this, 39.24 minus 9.81 t tot. Okay, that's all the information we can get right now. We can also get some information with the whole traveling thing, with the whole motion. So let's do it. We know that when it's at the bottom, the position on y will be minus h. Okay, so this is the first part that we already have. We will use it later. Now, we know that when the ball is at minus h, when the stone is at minus h, the initial position, well, we can make our frame of reference here. Hence, the initial position on y is 0. Plus, we know that because you dropped it, the initial velocity on y again is 0 here. Voy, and any number times 0 will be 0. So we won't care about this. Finally, plus gt. Plus gt squared. Sorry, plus 1/2 gt squared. I forgot the 1/2 here. Okay, now 1/2 times 9.81 is 4.905, so it will be 4.905. Now we know that the time would be t tot. Okay, so it will be t tot, and of course it is squared. So far, this is the other part. We know that this equals to minus h. Now, the next part we will be doing is I will change the frame of reference, and instead of starting with this information, I will suppose that the 0, 0 is at this position. Okay, so this will be our new origin. So, from our new origin, this would be the final position, and we know that it's, well, h halves. So, we know that with our new origin, when the object is at h divided by 2, The initial position again is 0 because we moved our frame of reference. But now the initial velocity is not 0. Okay, we know now that the velocity, the stone is going at the velocity, and we named it Vy1. So instead of using the initial velocity on y times t, we will be using Vy1 because we know that's the velocity it has, times 4. Why 4? Because from here to here the problem tells us that it takes 4 seconds. Okay, then this minus 1/2 again, 1/2 g times 4 squared. Now we can continue multiplying this part. So it will be minus h divided by 2 equals to, I will change this Vy1 for the value we got it previously on blue. Okay, so I'm writing on a parenthesis because remember that is the whole thing that you're multiplying times 4, 39.24 minus 9.81 t tot, because this is the total time, then everything times 4. Then if you make 4 times 4, because 4 squared is 16, divided by 2 is 8, times negative 9.81 would be minus 78.48. So minus 78.48. Oh, this should be in blue. Oh, sorry about this. Yes, minus 78.48. Then what we'd have to do is to develop this whole multiplication, and we would have that h halves, negative h halves equals 2. And then if we multiply the 4 times the 39.24, we will have 156.96, then minus, it will be 39.24 t tot, 39.24 t tot, and then minus 78.48. And we are almost done. Okay, now with the information we have with h halves, I will pass these 2 multiplying to the other side. Okay, so then we will have that h equals 2. If we multiply everything times 2, we will have that it's, well, negative h, because I will only move the 2. So it is negative 78.48 minus 78.48, and then t tot, that is multiplying 2 times this term, and then we subtract this term and multiply times 2, and we will have again a positive 156.96. So plus 156.96. Now, if we look at this yellow part and this green part, we have minus h on both sides. So we can equal these 2 things. So we can say that 4.905 t tot okay, there it is, squared equals 2, and then I will put this part of the equation, that is minus 78.48 48 t tot plus 156.96. Okay, and then we have a quadratic equation. There are plenty of ways to solve it. You can use the general formula, you can use the calculator, you can factor. At the end of the day, we will have two possible answers. T1 equals to 2.34, 2.34, and T2 equals to 13.65. 13.65. Okay, these are the two possible the two possible times. So we won't pay attention to this one because we know that it's taking 4 seconds to make this path. So there is no possible way that it takes 4 seconds to make the second half and 2 seconds to make the entire trip. So it should be 13.65. With the 13.65, we can get the height if we substitute the value over here, and we will get that the height equals to 914.29 meters. And the total time, 13.65 seconds. Thanks for watching.